Birds of the same feathers will always flock together. A fish normally starts rotting from the head. The moment you see the head of a fish has rotten, the tail will surely rot. Rigathi Gachagua was impeached because he was too ambitious and too divisive. He kept talking of shares, telling William Ruto to take developments to only areas that voted for him. If you look at 2022 presidential election, Raila Odinga beat William Ruto in 6 out of 8 former provinces. So if developments are to be taken to only areas that gave William Ruto majority votes, then only the mountain and the Kalenjin Rift Valley were going to benefit. In spite of the fact that all Kenyans are paying taxes, only the Kalenjin and the mountain were to benefit. If William Ruto would go with Rigathi Gachagua's narrative, he kept talking of shares. Now, as an impeached former deputy president, it shocks me to see Rigathi Gachagua going around the country lying to Kenyans that he was impeached because of his love for Gen Zs, and that he was impeached because he wanted other regions to get their shares in Ruto's government. And when he makes those remarks, he's always very serious and even convincing. And some Kenyans are buying those Rigathi Gachagua's lies. Rigathi was only fighting for his Kikuyu community. It really shocks me that some young leaders who are also in Rigathi Gachagua's party are now adopting his shareholding narrative. Even though they have stated they're not in government because Rigathi was impeached, they are still propagating the shareholding narrative even in the opposition. At a time we expect them to show Kenyans some nationalism, they are still propagating very divisive narratives, shares and high cousins. Let's listen to Nyandarua Senator Methu, for his sentiments are going to inform the basis of our analysis right now. Listen to this.
Mimi nataka niwaulize, nyinyi mliona last week William Ruto alikuwa Homa Bay? Mliona? Alifungua miradi mingi sana huko ya maendeleo. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Hiyo watu ya Homa Bay walichagua yeye. Sasa nyinyi mkisikia hiyo watu wanatuambia tukae kwa serikali, ni wakumbavu ama si wakumbavu? Tena hata kama tunakaa kwa serikali yenye inaua watoto, sisi tutakaa nje ndani? Serikali ya kuua watu tutakaa ndani? Serikali ya kunyanyasa watu itakaa ndani? Serikali ya kuita huyu mkonji terrorist kijana yetu mtakaa ndani? Waende wasiende. Jambo la pili, nyinyi watu wa Mbere, watu wengi sana wanatamani kuwa nyinyi watu wa Mbere, kwa sababu tumekasirishwa na William Ruto. Kenya mzima tulikuwa tunataka nafasi ya kufunza William Ruto adabu, lakini yetu iko mbali sana. Nasikia kura yake ni 2027. Nyinyi mmewekewa hapa karibu. Mtafunza yeye adabu? Mtafunza William Ruto adabu? Wa Mbere mtafunza William Ruto adabu? Wacha nione watu watamfunza adabu.
Let's put the remarks into perspective. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. The young Nyandarua Senator Methu is talking about two things. He's complaining that William Ruto is taking developments to NYANZA and specifically to Homa Bay, but NYANZA residents or Homa Bay residents never voted for him. That's the first issue he's talking about. Then he's also talking about a looming by-election in Mbeere North constituency. We know that there is currently a vacant seat in Mbeere North. The elected member of Parliament, Geoffrey Ruku, was appointed as a cabinet secretary for public service in Ruto's government. That's what occasioned a vacancy in that constituency. So on 27th November this year, there will be a by-election in Mbeere North constituency. Let's start with the first issue. He's complaining that developments are being taken to a place that never voted for Ruto. If keenly you listen to Senator Methu, he has learned from his boss, Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi kept talking about shares, that if you never voted for us, forget about developments. That's what Rigathi Gachagua kept talking about, shares, shares, shares. And one of the reasons why he was impeached was because of his shareholding narrative. It's very painful that a young senator such as Methu is also buying such ethnic rhetorics and is trying to propagate and force such ethnic narratives on Kenyans, and in this case, on Mount Kenya residents. It's very unfortunate. All Kenyans are paying taxes, and irrespective on how Kenyans voted, developments should go to every part of the country because all are paying taxes. Listening to the senator, it's also very frightening that these are people who are in the opposition, people who are trying to endear themselves to Kenyans, but even though they are trying that, they cannot stop being tribalistic. What do you think they will do in the event they form a government? Will they take development to areas that will not vote for them? The answer is a very big no. They will only develop areas that vote for them. And in one way or the other, that will curtail Kenya's rights. Every Kenyan has a right to choose who to vote for. And irrespective of where you vote from, you are entitled to development. That's the first red flag Kenyans ought to be seeing in these individuals calling themselves the united opposition. I've always maintained that they cannot be the alternative. If at all they are to be the alternatives, then they will be worse off than the current regime. As much as the current regime is bad, this one of Rigathi Gachagua and the Methus, this one is 1,000 times worse off than the current one. The second issue is talking about a by-election in Mbeere North constituency. We know that William Ruto might have talked to Geoffrey Ruku, the then member of parliament for Mbeere. And William Ruto and his team might have made proper calculations. If I appoint you as a CS in my government, will we win the Mbeere North constituency? Those are things I know William Ruto and his team might have discussed. And they might have laid out strategies on how to win that seat, on how to avoid an embarrassment there. Listening to Methu, he talks as if that seat is guaranteed will be won by DCP party. What if the seat is not won by the DCP party? What if Ruto's party wins that seat? Before Rigathi Gachagua came back to the country, Malala created an impression. He hyped Rigathi Gachagua's return as if all Kenyans were going to welcome Rigathi Gachagua. That clearly backfired on them. Rigathi was only received by a handful of Kenyans. And we are now seeing some coming out complaining that they were cheated, they would be paid to welcome Rigathi, but they have not been paid. If leaders such as Methu creates a field that already they won Mbeere North and they fail to win it, it will be a serious blunder on their part. Electorate sometimes can be very unpredictable. Rigathi Gachagua and his team should not be very sure, should not be overconfident that they are going to win Mbeere North. We know that Mbeere North is on the mountain, an area already being viewed as a Rigathi Gachagua stronghold. So if they lose that seat, or if they hype it to a point, Kenyans know they are going to win it and then they lose it, that will be a double blow for them. So they should be humble. They should mind what they are saying. It's not guaranteed that residents of Mbeere North will elect a DCP candidate. And is there a DCP candidate in Mbeere North? That's something I'm yet to be told. I'm going to do a research on that. But Rigathi Gachagua and his team should not be overconfident. He is not always that sure. As I conclude, looking at Rigathi Gachagua and his team, if this is the mentality they want to approach 2027 with, then it's very bad for them. Kenyans will reject them because they are talking as if they are more qualified than other Kenyans. They are talking as if they are entitled to be in government and to get developments, not other areas. And now to those from NYANZA who are talking of one term or pressing Rigathi and his team, you can see clearly the intention, the objective of Rigathi Gachagua and his team. It's all about power. All they want is to use other Kenyan communities to get back to power. And if William Ruto extends that olive branch to them, they will all join Ruto's government. Those who have all along sung Haki Yetu, I believe this is your time to be in government. One day in Kenya's politics is a very long period of time. As long as Ruto is the president, enjoy the goodies before 2027. Let me stop it there. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.